we have turned on the Zoom meeting and we have one participant. And John Breen, we will register you for you. In the meantime, I would like, if you don't mind, speak up. I would like everyone to just introduce themselves, their name, and their affiliation. And if you have any words of wisdom for me as to what you want to accomplish today. Oh, and this is our microphone. So, here.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Beck, president of White Marsh Boat Club. Also a sometimes I coach a little bit when we're really in need. So my hope is to have better alignment with our own coaches and the coaches in the facility, so we can all have a real harmonious rowing scene together.
I am going to pass this around, but I do want to say something because sometimes I have a short-term memory. And so I want to make sure. I want to congratulate all of you because I think it's absolutely amazing that you have the power to take care of the youth, to mentor them, to make sure they understand what life is going to be, because that's what rowing does. Rowing is a unique sport. So I'm just thrilled that we have this many people caring about our future, because those little guys and gals are going to be taking care of us. All right. Here, would you like to start over here? Just your name, affiliation, and whatever.
Hi, Kim Woods, working with the juniors at White Marsh. This is my first time coaching here, so looking forward to learning about life on the schuylkill up here.
Dom DiMarino, Academy of Notre Dame.
Hi, I'm Lou McCormick, Glen Mercy Academy High School.
Hi, I'm Wes Burns, at large, future White Marsh Boat Club, I guess. I'm the guy with the funny boat that says Avalon on it.
Hi, I'm Wendy Zales, Germantown Academy. This is my 6th season. I'm the assistant coach.
Liz Miller, Villa Maria Academy. Susan Herman, White Marsh Boat Club. Been here 25 years.
Hi, I'm Mike Corboy, White Marsh Boat Club. This is my first day.
But you're gonna help out with some coaching, right? You've had some experience, just a little experience, right? Just the national team.
Wow.
Yeah, national team. Okay.
Kirk Beckman, Lower Marion High School, and White Marsh. No, we're going to give it to Marie Lam.
Oh, great. Here. No.
Hi, I'm Marie Leonard. I work for White Marsh Boat Club, and I am the dock master for Hines Rowing Center.
Jamie Gordon, White Marsh Boat Club Masters.
Steve West, White Marsh Juniors.
Dave Case, White Marsh Boat Club Masters.
Mike Tucker, White Marsh Boat Club.
Tom Marvin, Devon Prep.
Tim Hagan, White Marsh Juniors.
Joe Sullivan with the White Marsh Juniors.
Steve Kowalik, White Marsh Juniors.
Alana McCloy, the Mount.
Steve Whalen, White Marsh Juniors.
And if you noted, we're not hiring anybody to coach this boys.
Yeah, probably boys. Okay. I'm also going to ask two people to introduce themselves, because without them, we would not be here.
My name's Alan Subkoyak. I work with Lois.
My name is Marielle Tucker. I'm the Director of Operations at the Hines Rowing Center and the head coach at Haverford College. Sometimes I help out at Lower Marion, or whenever somebody needs me and I'm available. Love to help out. So yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so why did I pass this microphone around? Because this meeting, hopefully this intercourse of verbiage, I had to be careful what I said there, I guess. Anyway, is being recorded. And Alan will be we will be sending out instructions that when you go back to your programs and whatever, if you want to listen to this, because I think we're going to have some good information on it. You'll be able to share it with your coaches, and it's very important that the coaches that are the first time here in the upper school that they listen to some of this. Now, everything on your agenda is going to be linked, so that we do have some handouts here, but certainly not enough for all of you, but I don't think you'd pick them up anyway. Oh, I had cataracts removed, so I think I can read, and then all of a sudden I see blur. So let me put on my readers that my neighbor gave me. All right, so is Jamie Gordon here? Yes. Oh yeah, there you are. Right, fine. I just wanted to make sure. All right, and I'm looking at all this, and okay, fine. There are some of you that are what I call my go-tos. I don't have a committee. I don't have a board of directors. I make decisions, and sometimes I have to correct them, and I do. And I don't mind if somebody says, Lois, you screwed up there. Get it together. So anyway, I'm hoping that this is a communal meeting that we can share with one another, because I witnessed something earlier this year, very early, when everybody's green as anything, and I call it controlled chaos. But I was very impressed with the way that the management of the White Marsh Boat Club came together, and the next day that I came down, I saw a difference in consideration of one another, of taking time to be careful what they're going to do. I'm going to ask Marie to address issues on the docks. I'm going to be asking other people to really share what we all should know, but we all don't know everything. All right. And I wish I could figure out how to work these glasses. All right. So the parking lot, I'm going to start. The parking lot's going to be a problem. And this is a real problem that we're going to have. When Villanova starts construction, there will not be enough parking space here. I'm asking you to think about carpooling, to go back to your schools, carpool, bus, van, but you're not going to fit in here in the spring. There's not just going to be enough. Right now Villanova is very good to us. We open it up so that the Radnor boys park over in that lot. And also, I think Gwinnett Mercy parks there. So just think about this. When you see the big construction pieces coming in on that lot, you know that we're going to have a problem. One of the things that I'm doing, minor, but I hope it helps, I've asked Jack Voss, who does some work around here, to take a wide brush, maybe white or yellow, and strip every 10 feet. He's going to draw his lines on the fences that he's been building. And that's because when I looked at the parking, they're teenagers. They don't know how to drive yet. They don't have perception. So I'm saying, okay, here's a parking spot, trying to get more and more involved into the parking. So that's what you're going to see. When you see those white stripes or yellow, I'm not sure what color paint he has. He's going to do that. Okay, the gates are very, very important. You must enter and make sure. Now, all of the leases that we sent out have one of these. And I've also given 30 copies or so to Jim Devon, who is the parking lot attendant. And I said, if, you know, parents are new, they don't read, they just sign, show them how they have to come in. You come in the gate, you make an immediate left. You go down, drop off the children, and then exit. They cannot find a parking spot and sit and wait. And it's going to get worse once the Villanova construction starts. Okay, so I just wanted to go over that. Wait, okay, remember, they can't hear you unless you have your phone. Okay, all right. The next thing I want to talk about is we keep trying to improve things. So I don't mind telling you, tell me what needs to be done. Tell me suggestions. I often get suggestions from Joe and Kirk, people who have been around here for years and have seen how we've grown. And I hear a lot of juniors, but we do have a senior coach here. I am so proud of We Can Roll. Everybody knows, to be the first at the largest regatta in the world, I think, headed to Charles, and to come in first, that was great. So congratulations, and let's keep going. And they're taking a crew out to San Diego for their whatever. So that's really great. There are some things that I'm always touching up, and the code of conduct is extremely important. And I now have, I'll do it in the side. I hope I'm not boring you. Called me up one day and said, Lois, I'm retiring. I'm resigning. I'm selling my post. 60 years old. He was a great guy. He was wonderful. His wife died suddenly, unexpectedly. A year or two went by. Met a woman, and all of a sudden they decided what we all would like to do, I hear. Buy a Winnebago and tour the U.S. That's what he's doing. So I have to get a new one. For example, I have to incorporate the waiver now that we have technology and a lot of you always go back to families. So I don't know, many of you may know this guy. His name is Greg Stoll. My husband coached him in high school in his 70s. And I said, are you going to retire, everybody? I talked to retiring. No, I enjoy what I do. So he's our new lawyer. I'm meeting him next Friday for coffee. I know him since I've been in high school. No, college. So his name is Greg Skill. He has an office. No, his Skill takes care of criminals. His office 100. But most of the time it's from south of Florida. Okay. I'm going to turn
Mike Sciola.
Talking this is my colleague.
Not sure.
My colleague. He is something else. He came to work with me. How many years ago?
I think almost 4.
4. I almost killed her. I said to myself, Jesus, this is the future. I'm going to worry.
Oh.
But that what all of a sudden, fell in love. Married.
What are you talking about?
Who is this woman? This is a new woman for me. She even starts thinking for me. So anyway, you want to take over a little bit about the bathroom. So one good thing I can tell you about the locker rooms, I don't have to pay Noel, Peter the twins. So you guys are checking the twins. Thank you very much. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Hi.
Speaking of clothes, toilet paper?
No, it's foam.
Okay.
All right. That was quite the introduction. Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who have been here before, it's the same rundown. So code of conduct, and all of these are printed out, at least one of them on the table over there. Just make sure you take a look at the coach's contact sheet. Just make sure everything's correct. It's the same thing that's in your email. The agenda's attached. Yeah, so everything's over there. And then there's also, if you want access to the HRC cameras, Alan's going to work on access to the mount cameras. But right now, the 2 packets over there are to make sure that you can have access to the HRC cameras. You do have to do that while you're on campus to connect to the campus Wi-Fi. So that's a quick rundown. So the code of conduct, you can take a look over there. We haven't changed anything this year. For locker room conduct, Lois went over the bathrooms. That's pretty much the biggest thing there. Nothing else has really changed.
By the way, I think I think they need a little brushing up. I'm going to get those doors painted. Not in the spring. Nothing happens in the spring, construction-wise. But after everybody goes home, get rid of that rust that I see on the doors.
Okay. And then for the erg room, the ergs that are upstairs, if you don't already know, they belong to WBC and Radnor girls. Both coaches, well, there's a lot of WBC coaches, but if you absolutely have to use ergs, both teams are pretty willing to work with you. You just need to have a conversation. And that's probably my biggest point. I usually make it during the year, but you just need to have conversations with intra squad, intra campus, intra program. Even if you think you can do something or you used to do it or something, just have a conversation, just touch base, make sure everything's all good with each other. Not moving equipment without telling people. And then if you do need to move boats, please let me know. Just send me a quick email. You can send me a text if you can't get to your email. Just please let me know so I can update our rack sheet. The Upper Schuylkill River safety guidelines are also linked. That's a really helpful packet for any new coaches. And then there's also a link that connects to the HRC course map. Again, if you're a new coach, it's really helpful to go through to make sure that you're familiar with the river if you haven't been on it before. For all programs, we still need to collect a code of conduct and a swim waiver. Do you want to talk about our potential new collection or?
Yes. I was very impressed when Marie is one of my go-to people. Marie, how does WBC do this? And make a long story short, and we try to stay up with technology. So from here on out, probably starting with the next schedule of leases, which will be in July, and then it'll go from there. But anybody who uses these facilities will be signing, or their parent will be signing a waiver of, and it'll be done in such a way that it'll be electronic. And Alan's our tech guy. He's with me, I don't know, 40 some years, or literally about that.
I look younger than I am.
You do? Right. Anyway, he will be setting up a database that is based upon, we'll call it the HRC fill out. It'll be similar to what you're doing with Regatta Central, except I don't have to pay fill out. Right. I'm sure you have to pay Regatta Central. Right? Like a lot of other. Right. Okay. So everything's going to be electronic, and so we'll be able to serve you better and know what your needs are, and there'll be communication on that. So right now, I have the waiver tucked into the lease, but that's not making sure every parent knows, and that's what we will be doing. I mean, I can't assume. Yes. Wait a minute. Speak up. What?
It will be. Oh, like swim.
Yeah, it'll all be like, yes. Yes. That's, but you know, it's like when you're doing something on the computer, and if you don't check that you read that all, it doesn't move on. So it's the same type of thing. Okay.
I've set up a form similar to this for wow, microphone. Yeah, so for example, I've set up a similar form for membership for PGRC.
Right.
And that's worked very well for them. And it does, in fact, require in certain instances that you have to check off that you acknowledge. Otherwise, you can't proceed. And so, you know, we'll just get the logic together so that it covers every possible rower. So, and we'll take input, obviously.
And so that's not yet implemented. You haven't.
It's in the process of, development.
Yeah.
But it will be, everybody, it'll happen when we do July 1 leases from there.
So we still need to collect either via email if you want to scan it yourself and send it to me in a form so I can collect those forms. But once we have it set up, then it will all be electronic. So would you like to take it?
Marie to discuss about docs.
Okay. So everybody received the time and all. You didn't get it yet?
Did you say?
Make sure you send it out to us before you post it. What, the launch times?
He sets up the way.
Oh, that. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Are we good? All right. So everybody has their launch times. When we're launching, I'll bring down boats to the recovery dock just to get you guys all out quicker. Just tell your crews to wait up here and to be called down. For the most part, it's been moving pretty quick. The kids got the routine. The coaches have the routine. I think I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. When they all come in, they really can't use the launch dock because mount's time to go out is then. So I try to get everybody in as quick as I can. You guys, the coaches all know how it works for the most part. So I think that's good. The one thing I will ask is when you do launch, please don't, I know a lot of you like to get your crews down river. Do not spin off the dock. At least row up to Villanova or Lower Merion. Radnor, and spin there and then head down. God bless you. Yeah. And just kids, tell them all. They have a question, ask me. Be nice. We're all in the same boat here on campus, and I've been witnessing a lot of camaraderie between the teams. I think the kids are all getting along okay. So yeah, but if anything happens on the docks, or I can't really control what happens out on the water, but just let me know and I'll try to take care of it as quick as I can. I think that's it.
Okay.
All right. Here.
Okay. Okay. The next thing that we really have up on the agenda is a very, very important part, and that is the safety. And I'm actually going to ask the coaches to discuss this. For example, the safety guidelines are on the table with a link that is the USRA safety guidelines, correct? Yeah. Right. But let's talk about traffic pattern. Kirk, can I ask you to talk about traffic pattern? I'm asking coaches that are on the river all the time and deal with the problem.
So the river is parsed into two halves. You guys know that. Every now and then we see someone bringing all their boats down the river, like literally across the river. And that just doesn't work. It's not safe. So we try to manage the halves of the river as opposed to just assuming that we can take up the whole river because of whoever we are. We can't control Haverford, we can't control CRC, we can't control Malvern, but we all try to respect each other, safety-wise. And everybody's going to make a mistake. Try and just get them to correct it. Don't scream at them. Don't curse at them. Off the water, every now and I see some kids they're just screwing around. Just try to control your kids. You know, if you see something happen and say something, like my biggest peeve seems to be lately is stop carrying your oars on your shoulder. Just stop it. They're walking, they're not paying attention. Oh yeah, I was at school today at lunch and they're just whacking people in the head. We don't need concussions, you know. So just, continue to work on that. It's like we got here first week, I think like I almost got whacked 3 times. It's just kids not paying, just kids being kids. They're not paying attention. So if we teach them correctly, carry it down low, it works. They're less likely to decapitate someone. Same with boats, before you swing, can you look? Just the same, the kids don't always look, but those are the key things. And then as we go down river, we always respect beyond the island by not using our megaphones, unless it's an emergency, obviously. If I'm coming back up and I see water skiers or people out, it's like, okay, I'm turning, let them have their space so we can use our space safely. And that way, less conflict. But that's, safety is the key right there. Getting your kids to move off the dock quickly so there's not like a line down in the parking garage. Having that conversation on the dock is just not necessary. So I would say just try and keep things moving. That's all. Lois, who's next?
What? Yeah, you're fine.
I'm done.
You're done. You're done.
Is there anybody else that wants to add anything?
Yes, sir. Here.
I got it. Here we go. Meet you halfway.
Thank you. The one when you're stopping with your crew to talk to your crew, and slower crews should be towards the bank. If there's 2 or 3 wide in the middle of the river and you're talking to them, it just stops up everybody. If you're talking to them, just get out of the way as much as possible, and try to avoid doing it on the turn down there because that's where the river is the narrowest. When you talk to there, you just bog everything up. That's all.
Liz, can you add anything to this? You've been around a long enough time for safety.
The one thing I would add would be more like the parking lot area, since I see that at the end of every day because that's where our stuff is my suggestion is make sure that you're watching your kids get picked up or somebody is supervising the kids out there because they do teenage things out there that aren't always the best, and making sure that they're going out to where the parents are picking them up because a lot of times they congregate kind of around where our shed is and we send them over there, but supervision at that time is always a plus.
Teenagers drive me crazy. I mean, I'm amazed that anybody gets to be the age of 20. I mean, in that sense, but I'll do some boring stuff here, but I'll just want to let you, but the best way to do this is to invite one of the representatives from the Fish Commission to come down maybe on a Saturday afternoon, right as everybody's coming and going, to talk about boat registration and the importance of it and why, and what happens if you don't have the right stickers on your boat, how you can get fined. So, yes.
You can buy duplicate ones because school lost ours. They're $3 a sticker, and it's really easy to go online and order them.
Right. Right. Yeah. I just realized that the Hines Rowing Center 45-foot trailer was not legal. And I couldn't find the WIN, the VIN, and I have to get, and, there I am saying, make sure everything. And then I happened to check my own stuff and I have to hustle now. Okay. Here, wait a minute. Come on. If you're motivated enough to say something.
It was a 4th of 5. If you weren't loud, you didn't eat, and you can see them starving. If I'll say this, I'll talk for the Steves here. If you see a White Marsh kid and even specifically a boy doing teenage things, please correct them. Okay. And if they give you lip, come back to us and we'll correct that. Okay. I have no problem with it. If there's an issue, when we'll tell our kids to, if you get told by some from the coach, you will listen. You will listen to an adult. Okay. You are a minor. You will listen to an adult. Okay. I think that's really important. Okay. We'll come back to you if we need to adjudicate something, fine, whatever. But I have no problem telling our kids, and I think you would agree, tell them that if someone tells you something and you need to correct something, do it immediately.
Okay.
I would just add that in any of those situations, also share with the coach of the program too.
In those situations, just because the communication is really the key of how we can move efficiently and grow the kids, so that they really become responsible rowers. And we want to have a community here, and that really helps for all of us to kind of work that through. So
Now, a very, very, very important portion of the agenda is over on the right. And I'm going to let this be an open discussion because I'm willing to bet 25 cents. When I lose a bet, I always have to put it in the poor box, right? But I don't think I'll be losing this one. Where do you go if your team boat capsizes? Anybody want to discuss that? Wait a minute. Here you go. This is important.
I say, since the boats won't actually sink to the bottom, they just stay with the boat. They don't go anywhere, especially in this cold water. I tell kids, guess I have to find a more up-to-date swimmer. Michael Phelps is kind of retired, but even he's not going to swim too far in freezing cold weather. But yeah, they just stay with the boat. That's the most common thing since I've started rowing. Probably all your coaches, you hang on to the boat and wait for the coach to come and get you. There are things, I know some of you still drive some of the smaller, like V-Hull or certainly the John boats. Always warn the kids, do not grab a hold of our launch until we tell you and instruct you, because they can tip very quickly and put you in the water. And then you're no use to help the kids either. Make sure they understand to just wait. And the next thing, always instruct if anyone did get hurt when the boat might flip or something, you get cut on a rigger or something, or someone's in more distress because they're just not a good swimmer or uncomfortable in the water, get them out first. I think the kippy bags are all supposed to have those, we used to call them solar blankets, that look like tinfoil almost when you pull it out. Get them wrapped in that this time of year as quickly as you can if they need it. But yeah, don't swim away from the boat, especially in the cold water.
Would we be so bold as to have a practice, schedule a practice that was videotaped, that was shown? I mean, this, what? It does. Okay, who does?
US Rowing.
I mean, because this is, I flipped when I was rowing a single, I'm not sure I could get back into a single now. Anyway, all right. So the message is, don't let go of the boat. And you're assuming there is a coach for every boat that's on the water. All right, coaches, that's your responsibility. You have to know how many boats are on the water for practice, where are they, and how fast can you get to them if you have to.
And the good thing, having a river like Schuylkill where there's lots of crews out there, usually if somebody does slip or capsize or is in trouble, any coaches that witness it usually come right over and offer to assist. So we're lucky in that way. We're not fielding just one team out there and you're struggling to save all the kids yourself.
Okay, now here's something that US Rowing I don't think can do for us. Where are the exit points on our stretch of the river in an emergency? Where are they? Here, come on.
I would say the exit points on our stretch, any of the boathouse docks upriver here, and then downriver, you have the VFW has a boat launch ramp and a dock. Hopefully, they wouldn't mind if you ended up there. But you have Skip Stotesbury's Marina, which he would not have a problem with us using, and the Gladwin boat ramp. There are a couple people that live downriver that are friendly to the rowers that might help you, but you'd have to probably more quickly identify their houses. And like one of our members is the last house down on the Gladwin side going downriver, and she would and her husband would always gladly help out if we needed something down there. No, they live a couple houses up. It's Hillary Johnson.
Oh yeah.
And Alan Wood.
I would add to that one question. Since a lot of the emergency services use the facilities here for training, I don't know, Lois, if you know if those emergency services have identified specific locations and addresses on the water that they are well known and where to pick up. That way we can make sure we're all aligned, that we have a full list of not only what we say is going to be, but they know where to be. That will expedite the whole time.
I just shared with Marielle the list that I had put together.
Excellent. That would be great that would be great to make, to have that shared through all of us so that we make sure we have all of that. And sometimes, with L2, we were talking, have it on, if you have it on the launch, and have that material available to you at all times.
Okay, so you're in the water, you flip, you're a single, and your phone is encased in a waterproof. So how do you tell an emergency response where you are? How do you do that? You're assuming now that everybody has a phone that they take with them that's waterproof. Now the kids don't take their phones in, do they? For the most part, no. The coaches have phones. Right. Right. Okay. Now, right, I don't want.
If you post the location, it gives you the coordinates. Maybe they can read those.
Right. And of course, any kind of an incident that occurs on the water, off the water, but on our property here, you know that you must write it up that night as soon as possible. The management, Hines Rowing Center, I have to get a copy. I have to immediately contact our insurance company, no matter what. And I just want to make sure that you all know that as much as you can remember has to be reported. Now, we've had a safety meeting, and there's a lot of safety material around and videotape, both with USRA and others. Does all of you have wonderful experience? Isn't there anything that you can share with one another? What was I won't ask, what was this most frightening thing that has ever occurred to you in the past year or two? And then what did you do about it? I mean, we're dealing with almost 1,000 individuals in this property. Last time I counted, it was close to 900. That's a tremendous amount of responsibility. It's the best way I can put it. And it's all in your hands. And remember, once you're on the water, it's not me anymore. It's you. You are the responsible person. So just make sure your own personal insurance is up to date. I hate to say this, and I would never say it when I was 20 or 30 or 40, but I do say it now. Make sure, because you all have families, and you never can predict what's going to happen. Helicopter drops from the sky right in front of you. I don't. So, does anybody have it? What?
And Liz, correct me if I'm wrong, this time of year, as you're as scoring a regatta referee, we'll tell the usual instructions are hit clips, exact. So you need to get down. That's usually true well into May.
Right.
So it's not all right. Let's get back in the water and go back. That kid is that's like 30 years long.
Right.
So out of the water and
I bought a new thermometer, big dial from Amazon. I got to return it. It's not working properly. We'll put it.
Banged up already.
What?
I think it's reading okay.
It's reading now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And it has the tube in the water and the monitor from the.
Right. Tell them
right
where the
outside
monitors are.
It's a Bluetooth receptor on the thermometers in the water. One at the bottom of the
It's in the corner, where the.
you can get water temperature off of that.
Yes.
There's two. I think he gives a third one where you can set it to just rotate through them. But channel 1 is the one at the bottom of the. Channel 1 is the base of the return ramp. Channel 2, one is the base of the outgoing dock there.
Right. So that the launch dock has a water temperature, and the major dock here at the corner, when the ramp comes down, and the thermometer is not going to go anyplace. It's going to stay there. It's in the corner. Okay, you know that we're scrunched for launch space. Be very aware of where you're putting your launch. And Wes, where's Wes? Right. Wes has come up with some ideas of possibly how we can park our launches more efficiently. And we may try it with a few of the coaches that, especially that have 2 and 3 boats launches. It's not the big ones. It's the John boats that seem to pile up. Okay, so we'll talk about it and how we can make it work, if at all possible. All right, what else bothers you? What else would you like to change?
Bottom of the river.
What? What do you like?
Rocks on the bottom of the
Oh,
river.
rocks.
Remove those.
Right.
Yeah. Morning. The normal level we would. Being able to marks for those.
Yeah, we have.
Buoys. Do you ever use these big buoys?
They belong to Bryn Mawr. They used to put them out to race things when they would host teams. We had some homemade plastic things up there that John Stapleton. He's not around stuff like what we do the weather. Usually puts out. Usually I think Jack Boss helps him out with it.
That's a little bit of chain and a real good buoy.
Yeah,
on a rock that's always there, not going to move. I think a lot of sense to me. The mark of the major rocks, especially around the corner.
Yeah.
You know when you can't go all the way out to the wide part of the turn because there are rocks. Having those.
You took a lot of stuff out. We gotta get them back.
I really do wish I had a silent piece of dynamite. I mean, I don't know. Nobody else has any. You all love one another, right? Yes, sir. Here, pass this.
Joe created a group chat for
Yeah.
some of the coaches. I felt like that was really helpful. So I don't know if we want to. Yeah. So like everyone at Hines is in communication. I think it's worked well already to be able to like ask what other teams' plans are because we're all coming to the same place. So it's been helpful to me as we're planning practice with the weather. So thank you, Joe.
Sorry, I'm throwing there. Just so there is any complications or something. I think I stick on there. Okay. But I can add more.
Okay, can you think of, without naming something, a person, can you think of something that really annoyed the hell out of you? And tell us what it was here. You don't have to say the person's name. Just say this boat did whatever, you know. Everybody's all perfect and doesn't complain, right?
No, we took our turn the first week. We read about it, fixed it.
Okay. All right.
I think the only thing that comes to mind is, and it's hard to do, but as much as possible, the minimal amount of people you can have in your boat launch the best. Yesterday, it was, I don't know who it was upriver. Just had maybe even 4 people in a
John,
race that was therefore very unweight. It was just creating a lot of weight in a situation where the low size, so you had the standing weight. So, as much as possible. And we get it, you got a kid switching kids in and out, and it is what it is, but the minimal amount of people watch. Just keep weight in, especially in the fishing.
And think of it from a safety perspective, you can't save any bait for launch.
Yeah.
You can't look at that one.
Well, I got 2 microphones here. If anybody wants to say anything and record it for perpetuity. What?
I got a full.
Middle school, we have our middle school thing.
Okay, all right. I think we shall bring this safety meeting to a close and hope and pray to God that we don't have any incidents. But, okay, Alan, we did not in both.
Yeah, right.
Just really quick. We do have a campus calendar on the website. I had to update it, so it's back reinstated. Just to mention that Devon Prep will have a boat christening on March 21st at 11 a.m. And then Bryn Mawr is hosting their regatta again on April 18th, starting at 10 a.m. So that'll be Stockton and Washington College. There's a few of them. There's more information that's on the.
They always do it in the middle of like everybody's practice.
I don't know.
That's a good annoying thing to say.
Yeah, it's like every year they decide to do the regatta, middle of all the junior practice. There's 1,000 boats out there, and they have to be out there racing. That's something to really about.
Oh. Just to put those on your radar. No, I mean.
I was stopped yesterday by the Basement Street condo complex over here. That road is a private road until they do construction on Davis Bridle. So basically, you not take a right out to have the exit head down that way. We're working orange on architectural sit, and so that's about around pretty narrow down there. Apparently, no one from this end, somebody was fence work out. Was driving so fast by the time he got there. So yeah, so they're just asking, he's gonna talk to us about maybe putting up like a no right hand turn sign there. So and I also know that it's really dangerous the other end because by the time I come practice, there's trucks literally right at that corner. So I know we're not really good out way, but if keep everybody, all the neighbors happy. Yeah. Turn, but those trucks are literally right there on the corner. All right, thank you. We're not supposed to drive there at all. Right.
No, they have
It is, yeah, and he was explaining, once, after you take that right, there's signs there that it's private, but it's not until you're actually in it. Yeah, you're in, so they're looking at ways to remedy that as well. And again, I've gone through there numerous times, and I think everyone has to admit it's very narrow. I don't even like sending our girls for a run that way to get on the path because it's so narrow.
I wish you all a very successful season.